thought when I was making this list that it was going to be filled with the craziest stuff, but it turns out it's relatively normal stuff for us that only the rich in North Korea get. I'm your host Michaela, and today I'll be talking about the top 10 things the richest people in North Korea get to experience. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you aren't already, and hit that fun little bell cause it really helps us out. But now let's get started. Number 10. Vanity Projects. A report by the Korean Development Institute noted a boom in the construction of shopping malls, sports, and cultural centers. It's also noted that North Koreans who live in Pyongyang now have a widening range of places to spend their extra money in spare time. There are new water parks and even a dolphin aquarium, according to Curtis Melvin, a researcher who has spent years monitoring satellite imagery of North Korea and mapping construction sites. This has allowed us to monitor the growth in North Korea markets, changes in transportation, infrastructure, and the proliferation of renewable energy. We can see and measure these things in a way that was not possible a decade ago. This new technology has given him a fascinating insight into how life in North Korea is changing. He has recorded an increase in amenities and buildings that are designed, on the surface at least, to bring enjoyment to the North Korean people. He is focused on construction projects that purport to raise the living standards of the people, such as new housing projects, a dolphin aquarium, new shopping options, new sports facilities, new amusement parks, water parks, 3D cinemas, and a ski resort. Number 9. Groceries. With food and housing in North Korea subsidized by the state, food is hard to come by, surprisingly. Food security has been a reoccurring issue. However, this isn't the case for the wealthy in North Korea, who have access to food that others can only dream of. Items such as coffee, meat, potatoes, and bibimbap are things they enjoy on a daily basis. In fact, they even go crazy on groceries and spend hundreds of dollars on Austrian beef, Norwegian salmon, and European craft beers. Number 8. Smartphones. Everyone who's anyone in North Korea needs a cell phone, but I should note that there's no Wi-Fi, which means no Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But the North Korean elite are falling in love with smartphones nonetheless. In Pyongyang, the eyes of North Korea's rich kids are glued to smartphones just like any other big city in the world. Up to 3 million people subscribe to self-service in North Korea, and the luxury is reserved for North Korea's version of the 1%. Each phone is rumored to cost around $400, but the actual cost is much higher. According to one researcher, the phone offers a prime way for the government to spy on its citizens. It said that North Korea has allowed the growing use of mobile phones and domestic internet access in return for the detailed information the network feeds Pyongyang's surveillance state. A report says that by giving citizens new network technologies like mobile phones and tablets, the government is able to automatically censor unsanctioned content and observe everything citizens are doing on their devices remotely. The authorities have found ingenious ways to turn those new technologies against the North Korean people who are adopting them. Number 7. Clothes. When you hear the words wealthy in North Korea, you probably thought of Seo Dan and Crash Landing on You, right? Well, her lifestyle is somewhat accurate to how the well-moneyed on the other side of the DMZ really live. The jet set in North Korea who typically live in the capital of Pyongyang enjoy shopping in retail stores from fast fashion chains like Zara, H&M, Adidas, and Nike to luxury brands like Chanel and Prada. Number 6. Music. Since the state prohibits media and music from outside their borders, the majority of the population don't know what Western movies are like, least of all K-pop and K-dramas from the other side of the border, South Korea. But apparently, money can buy you these things. So the 1%ers enjoy access to everything from BTS to Britney Spears. Number 5. A different world. Income inequality in North Korea is rife, and the economy is mainly geared towards supporting a large military. This means the showpiece projects such as water parks, sports facilities, and 3D cinemas can only be enjoyed by the wealthy, usually urban-dwelling citizens. As Andre Abrahamian says, Pyongyang's entertainment is only available to the better off. If you're privileged, you may play squash, take yoga classes, enjoy nice restaurants, including a couple of decent Italian and Japanese spots, and sip cappuccinos at cafes. In a way, being privileged in Pyongyang is like being solidly middle class in a wealthier country. But this middle class, with their appetite for Pyongyang's finer elements, are a relatively new phenomena. The rise of the Donju, literally masters of money, has created a new moneyed middle class that has a healthy thirst for consumer goods and spending, says James Pearson. This has in turn given rise to more restaurants, bars, and even coffee shops in relatively rural or provincial towns which had very little before. People outside of Pyongyang live in a different world, James Pearson says. Farmers still have rigid production quotas to meet. Many do not have access to clean drinking water or reliable electricity. They have standards of living well below people in the capital. Some people can enjoy their lives by having dinner at restaurants or visiting some places, but many people have to worry about their next meal. This means leisure time is a luxury only available to the richer residents of Pyongyang. Number 4. Going to the gym. Fashion in North Korea is regulated. Short skirts and sleeveless shirts aren't allowed. There are also state-sanctioned hairstyles. As much as the jet set can afford to hoard H&M, they aren't exempted from these rules. So how does someone from this elite crop of people make themselves stand out? Apparently they hit the gym, which is an important aspect in the life of any rich kid. Since you can't be creative or flaunt your best self through personal style, these folks flaunt their bods at the gym instead. It is also in this gym that they get to watch prohibited Western entertainment, including Disney. Number 3, a car. In North Korea, those who own a car are definitely very rich and powerful people. If you want to buy a car, you need the government's permission. The price of a car is sky high. Even a bicycle is not quite affordable, and can rarely be encountered outside of Pyongyang. All bicycles also have license plates just like cars. And if you do see cars in North Korea outside of Pyongyang, it's likely that the person driving it doesn't even own it. Virtually all cars in North Korea are company owned, which makes sports car ownership impossible. In recent years, Chinese cars have exploded in number. Domestically manufactured North Korea cars such as the Whistle and the Cuckoo from Pyeonghwa Motors are also getting a lot of use. Chinese and North Korean manufactured cars are cheaper in price and therefore increasing in popularity. Nobody in North Korea would dare to drive a South Korean car. It'd be no easy matter importing one into North Korea. And even if someone did find a way to obtain one would be labeled as a traitor. Number 2, vacation. If shopping for groceries and working out at the gym are already considered luxuries, what's more than going on a vacation at a ski resort? In North Korea, access to theme parks and resorts are only given to those with the right political views, and those with top dollar spending, of course. It's a complicated currency. A stay at a ski resort that also has its own ski school can cost somewhere around $500 for a 2-night stay, including very fancy transportation. Austrian ski lifts and imported snowmobiles will also assist in taking you around the resort. But if you're not a fan of snow, you can go to a horse stable, where only the rich get to sit back and relax and then learn everything there is to know about horses from their experts for $35 an hour. Oh, and you can ride them, of course. Now, it may seem like these prices are relatively cheap for some, but in a country where people scrape by with less than $20 a month, that's pretty hefty. Number 1, cosmetic surgery. We are all aware of how common plastic surgery is in South Korea. It's as ordinary as getting your hair done nowadays. However, that isn't the case in North Korea, but it is for their well-heeled 1%ers who can afford to get their eyes done, eyelid surgery, or a nose implant, among many other things. These procedures cost upwards of $700. And remember what I said in the last point, it may seem well priced, but again, people are really struggling, so $700 to the less fortunate is like over $3,000. But that is all, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.